Bekele Beke, we bring you Men Up with Tshidi Lethwane every Monday at 7 p.m. live on the Mzansi Urban Facebook page and YouTube channel. And if for some reason you missed the live, you can catch us up on the favorite podcast, right? Yeah, so you can search for us on Spotify and all other different podcast channels or platforms. And as usual, we bring you Monday conversations with men, conversations with Tshidi, and of course, your favorite men crush. So every Monday, we crush on a man, we crush on a fabulous man, we crush on a favorite man, and sometimes a gorgeous man. And this evening is no different. I keep telling you, I am your girl from Bolobedu to the world. We travel right throughout the country to find a favorite man of the day. And this evening, we travel to the beautiful, awesome, and magnificent province, home province that is Limpopo. And we landed in the town of Tzaneen. Tonight, I bring you a monarch. Yeah, he's a king. Namuhla itabulabula shangan. So yeah, get your dictionaries out because we're about to have fun, y'all. So without wasting any more time, help me give a warm man up welcome to Bukosi Mashele. Yeah.
Hello. Hey.
Minjani put.
Fukile minjani.
Ainane fukile.
Fukile man.
Welcome to Men Up, hey?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
We can tell. Like even the bright outfit there tells us you are happy to be here.
Of course.
And we're loving the hat.
My signature look.
You should have just warned me so that I bring mine as well.
You look absolutely incredible as you are. Look at you. Look at
you. Look at me smiling. Stop it. I like it. So before we get to the business of the day, I want you to introduce yourself to the Men Up community. Here we're a family, we're a community, and we love one another. So I want the people to know who we're talking to tonight. Of course, I know, but yeah, I want you to introduce yourself to the rest of the community. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do, and anything else that you think we might find interesting.
Well, this is very interesting itself, so we can start there. Hello, Men Up community. So my name is Bukosi Mashele. Other people call me King. So I am a media personality. I am a life coach, a NLP coach, and also a NLP practitioner.
Yes.
But above that, I am a king, you know. And I say that I'm a king because when I was born on the 5th of January, my paternal grandmother, she came to the hospital. She held me up in her arms like Simba, you know, in the Lion King movie. And then she said that this is the Mashele's reality. All of the Mashele's reality is within this particular human being. So I regard myself as a king because I understand where I come from and the energy that was transferred to my being on the day that I was born. So I am a king, although I don't have a castle.
Right there where you are is your castle, my king.
It's my castle, right? And I use the medium of television, radio, and media to teach, to minister healing, and to add value to television. So I'm more than an actor. I am more than a TV and radio personality. I am more than a coach. I use those vehicles to add value to humanity so that people understand who they are, whose they are, what is happening in their life, the season that they find themselves in, and ultimately walk the journey consciously with grace and gratitude.
All right. Talk about a person that knows themselves.
Very well. Very well.
Like, yeah, you just came here and you just the king and you just commanded like listen, I'm here, it's my turn now.
King, is it?
I think Something that stood out for me there is when you said you help people understand not only who they are, but whose they are. Speaking about identity. And we know that without identity, people get lost. You need to know who you are in order to know where you're going, in order to understand your journey. And you can't really understand much if you yourself don't know. If you asked, who is Tshidi? And you're like, I think, I was told. So it's very important for one to understand who they are so that whatever anybody else says out there doesn't really stick or it doesn't matter much because you yourself are confident in who you are and you're content in who you are. So I like that. So Bukosi, our king, as we get into the conversation. So tonight, Bona, we're just getting into the conversation. Welcome, everybody. So we just got to welcome our viewers here live on FB and everybody else that will just be listening to the audio. Welcome, and we hope you're going to have fun with us. I promise you, we are going to have fun. As you can see, fun all over here. So today we are talking about men and what is man. So every week we bring you all things men. So today our king here is going to help us define what a man is and who a man is and everything else that is man. So yeah, Bukosi, what is man or who is man according to your royalship?
Yes, according to my royalship. So I will speak for my truth. And I believe that the only thing that I can offer the world is my truth, ultimately.
Of course.
So, for my understanding, a man is beyond. It's more than wearing pants and being masculine. There's more than that. I believe for sure that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. That means we are first beings before we are human. So there's two aspects to who we are as human beings. There is the spiritual aspect of our being, and there's also the human aspect of our existence. So the human aspect of our existence, that is the one that identifies with labels, that you are female, you are man, you are whatever. But at the essence and the core of our being, we're all the same. We're all spirit. So the reason why there is a difference between a male species and a female species, and I say species specifically and intentionally, is because the only thing that differentiates us is our physical attributes, right? Our physical attributes, perhaps even the tonality of our voice. But other than that, we are all the same at the core of our being. And I guess that if we truly understand that concept, the whole issue of inferiority, superiority when it comes to male and female, that just because you are male and I'm female, I am superior to you and you are lesser to me, it will definitely, completely go away. So for my understanding, a male or a man is simply a physical manifestation of the creator that we all come from.
Physical manifestation of the creator from where we come from. You just took it deep. You took it to the beginning.
Absolutely.
You just started with a man is a spirit.
Yeah, it's a
spirit. And I was like, okay, so we're going deep today.
Absolutely. Go deep, men of God. Go deep, women of God.
So with what you've just said, right? Is that the true definition of what man is? Or could there be more as to what is a man? What defines you as a man? Is there certain characteristics or certain physical attributes, or is it just that you're a being, you're just a spirit and having a soul and living in the physical, and as you said, a manifestation of the creator? So what defines a man? What makes a man besides the DNA and all of that? What other things can we say for sure that that's a man? How do we identify a man?
So as I said earlier on that there's I'm going to speak from my truth.
Yeah, of course. This is what is men according to Bukosi Mashele. This is not a generalization. This is his perception of what a man is. So nobody can hold you against that. It's your belief.
And they'll come and be like, yeah, because he said.
Nobody's gonna coach you, man.
No. So obviously, you know, and the most obvious attributes or qualities that makes a man is the physical structure. You know, you have a, you know, the homogeneous structure in where you have muscles, not really like, you know, your six pack, but just have that rigid, strong structure. Although some of us have something, you know.
You took it to the pecs. You took it to the six pack.
And there's also the genital aspect to who you are as a man, right? That means if you're a man, you have this kind of a genital, and then if you're female, you have this kind of a genital. But it really goes beyond that. And most of us, we tend to focus on just what meets the eye, but there's more. Yeah. There's way much more to who we are as men, more than just the physical attributes. So yes, obviously, as a man, you will have the physical structure, as in you have no bum. Or you're flat, okay, unless if you squat, and you would have that genital, right? And then perhaps you even have, you know, a beard and so forth. But it really goes beyond that. Those are just physical attributes. And others would even argue that as a man, you need to conduct yourself in a specific way. You need to be very macho. You need to be very violent for people to identify you as a man. You need not show emotions for people to identify you as a man. You need to be the head of the family for people to identify you as a man. But those, in essence, in truth, are just labels. They're just labels. I know a whole lot of women who don't show emotion, yet they still remain human. I know a whole lot of men, like myself, who show a lot of, you know, emotion, and still, I am a man. Yeah.
And I was about to say, go deeper, man. Go deeper, man. Because I thought you're going deeper. So I'm like, go deeper, man. Go deeper.
I was about to. Then I was like, whoa, hold it there.
Please do. Remember, we're here to educate. We're here to learn together. And you're just here to impart whatever knowledge or whatever wisdom that you've got. You never know who is going to assist. You never know who's going to bump into this and think, wow, that's profound, or wow, why don't I think of it like that? So that's the aim of this conversation, is just to enlighten somebody or to help somebody that might be confused or somebody that might not be in the know. So we are here to try bridge that gap between knowing and not knowing. So don't hold back, please. I've never known you to hold back.
To hold back, because I took a lot, y'all. If I start talking, I'm going to talk for 5 hours.
Never.
So, you know, growing up as a boy child, I had issues with identifying to society as a typical boy child. I wasn't like my peers or my sibling or my cousins. I was different, you know. I grew up as a loner. I preferred staying in the house, watching TV, reading a newspaper, playing by myself. Whereas my counterparts would be out there in the streets playing soccer. Others would be watching soccer. I would be watching cartoons because I really love cartoons and the news. Funny enough, I enjoyed watching the news. I wanted to be a news anchor at some point. So I grew up that boy. You know, I used to be part of the church choir, the worship team. I pretty much grew up in church. I was the leader of the boys' choir at church. I was very much active at church growing up. So as a result of that, I never felt like I completely fitted into the stereotype of what a typical boy child is, what a typical men should be like, because I was different from my peers. And as a result of that, I was bullied a lot. I was labeled that, hey, she's boy who stays in the house. He thinks that
you're better.
Just because you go to this school, you come from this family, you don't associate with us. I was labeled all kinds of names. And that, to be honest, as a boy child, it really, really took its toll on me. At some point, I felt like maybe I'm not really a man. There must be a mistake, in my identity. Maybe I am that kind of a boy. Society will label you as a sissy boy just because you're a mama's boy. I was a mama's boy. I went to literally everywhere with my mom. I was literally a handbag. So as a result of that, I felt out of touch with society and its connotation to what a man is. And I had a bit of an identity crisis. But as I grew older, I grew into my truth. I got to understand that, there's different kinds of men, right? And just because I prefer this doesn't mean that I'm a less of a man just because of my preferences. At the end of the day, what makes me me is bigger than just what meets the eye.
Wow. I like it when you go deep, because then we get a chance to go deeper and even deeper. We are peeling this onion. So at what point did you decide, Uguti, no man, forget societal pressures, forget societal expectations, forget all these definitions. I am this kind of man and I am happy with this kind of man. At what point did you decide, I'm going to embrace this kind of man that I am, because that is who I am and I can't be anything else. This is the only thing I know how to be. This is the only man I know how to be. Where was the turnaround for you? What happened or what changed for you to decide, actually, I'm happy with who I am?
Yes. Oh, shikes. It took me a long time. Damn. It took me a very, very long time to fully accept who I am for what I am. So I think the defining moment for me was when I changed schools. So I used to go to this school, then I went to a different school. So when I go to that different school, most of my classmates came from better families. And I was that little boy, from that area. I was short. I had a big bum for a boy. I had a squeaky voice. I was very, very big. I won't use the word fat, but I was quite big.
You were horizontally talented.
I was horizontally talented. I was horizontally talented. And as a result of my physical appearance, I was bullied a lot. As I mentioned to you earlier on, that I had a very squeaky voice. So being in that environment, a completely different environment with these children from privileged backgrounds, and being in this institution, this school, I didn't quite feel like, I fitted in that environment. I really wish that I'd stayed where I came from. And as a result of that, being bullied and being called all kinds of things just because of my squeaky voice. I don't have it now, but I used to have it. So just because of my squeaky voice, I felt like, I wasn't man enough. So I remember one dude whom I have stayed very close friends with. He's actually my brother, Leon. And he came to my rescue. And he made me feel like I was one of them, regardless of everything else that was happening in that space. And so throughout high school, secondary and high school, I really struggled with my identity. Matric was worse. And then I came to truly accept who I am when I passed matric. Yep, when I passed matric, and I came to varsity. And I think that one of the reasons why I never had a mental breakdown is because I came from a very warm and supportive family. So outside, I felt like a stranger. I didn't belong. But when I went back home, it was my safe haven. was embraced with love. Nobody looked down on me, and it was literally my safe haven. So, so what happened outside did, of course, affect me. However, just because of the love that I got from home, from my mom, shout out to Mamzo, my dad as well, shout out to Pops, and my siblings, I felt like I was really, really loved and embraced for who I am. So when I passed matric, I went to Bedunza. Being in that environment, I literally came to my own. I came to my own because now I was away from the environment that had labeled me as this kind of a man. And just because you're this kind of a boy child, you are not really a boy because you're not as masculine as we are. You're not as macho as we are. You are fat. You have a scracky voice. So coming to Medunza really made me come to my own. And I remember first year, I used to stay at T Lodge, and I instantly became one of the cool guys because of my dress code, and I lost a bit of weight. I grew taller, and I
Hello.
was hello, and the glow started.
New person who this?
Who does? And I literally came to my own. I then began to live my truth. And I live my truth, first and foremost, by expressing who I am through what I wear.
Yeah.
So I would wear a lot of sneakers. I would wear a lot of caps. I was a yo-yo boy back in the days.
Really?
Yes, I was a yo-yo.
Yo, man.
I was like, what's up, dog? What it do, my nigger? I was that boy. And that was the beginning of the journey, the metamorphosis journey to ultimately being who I am and identifying and being comfortable with who I am. So varsity for me was a defining moment. And at that moment, I literally metamorphosized to my truth and have been that. And it continues to evolve because here's the thing about life. Everything was created to grow. Everything was created to grow.
Yep.
Trees are growing every day. We are growing every day. After a couple of months, y'all, I'm going to be a specific age because everything was created to grow. So my understanding of what a man is and what kind of a man I am continues to evolve. It is not static, it continues to evolve with time and the information that I'm exposed to and the kind of person that I identify with as I look into the mirror.
Wow.
That was long, I know.
Yeah, and you didn't want to go deep. Look at you now. You're just flowing into it. Yeah, that was a mouthful. And I think from that, what I want to ask is knowing what you know now, right? After going everything that you went through, high school, matric, and all of that, how important is it for one to embrace themselves and stick it out and be true to themselves and say, listen, this is me? How important is it for a man or for a young person, a young boy, to be true to themselves from a young age? What difference does that make in one's life? Now that you've walked that journey and you've gone through everything that you've gone through, and you look at your life and you look at, I went through this because, I allowed people to say and do this. I went through this because actually I could have done that better. Now that you know, how important is it for a person to be true to themselves, to seek themselves from a young age?
Well, when you know better, you do better. Most importantly, you be better because you know better. So it is very much important for you to be true to yourself because if you're not true to yourself, you cannot attract that which belongs to you, that which was created for you to attract because you're portraying the image of something or someone that you're not. We are created to fulfill and be the truest and highest expressions of ourselves as human beings. That is the intention of us being here on earth right now. So the moment that you live under a must or under a reduced version of who you should be, just because society will accept you if you are this kind of a person, you are really, really, really doing a huge injustice to yourself. And most importantly, you are doing a huge injustice to that which you are created to be and to the role that you're supposed to fulfill in humanity. My fingerprint is different from my brother's fingerprint. It is different from my siblings, my cousins, and my friends' fingerprint. That goes to show that we are all created differently so that we can fulfill a different role in space and time in the ecosystem that we call life. So it's important for any boy child, for any man, to truly be who they are, so that they can attract all that was created and intended for them to have and to be. The question then becomes, how do you do that?
Yes, please educate us. How do you do that?
How do you do that? It's very simple. It's born. It is so simple. It is not a complicated algebra formula. No, it's very, very simple. And the simplicity lies in what feels right for you to do. It feels right. So if you behave in this way, how does it feel for you? Because you will always know. You will always know when you are betraying yourself as a human being. Either you are female or male, you will always know when you betray yourself. You always feel like, why the hell on earth am I doing that, child? It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right with you. And that itself is an indication that you're going the wrong way. Come back and do that which feels right with you. So when you look at yourself in the mirror and you're very much comfortable with, wearing like bright colors and being an introverted kind of person, and you stay indoors and you watch TV. So whenever you do that and that feels right with you, that's exactly who you should be. But then now, if you try to take yourself out of your haven and you go out there and try and be what you're not by trying to play soccer in the streets with those homies, and you feel like, why the hell am I doing this? I am not even enjoying it. Joy is your campus. Joy is your campus. So whenever you're out there and playing soccer with the homies, or whenever you're indoors watching TV by yourself, if that doesn't bring you joy, then you should not be doing it. You should not be doing it, but because by so doing, you are bringing suffering into your life. Suffering into your life. So the way to truly be yourself and be the kind of man that you want to be is ask yourself this question. Does doing this feel right? Does this bring joy into my life? Does it bring joy into my life? Am I being true to myself? Am I not trying to be that which my mother expects me to be that which my friends expect me to be? The moment that you can disassociate yourself from the expectation of your friends, your family, even society, the moment that you can disassociate yourself from their voices and from their perspectives about who you should be, and you truly be that which you want to be, and it feels right, and it brings joy into your heart, it fills up your heart space with joy, then you are being who you're meant to be. And that essentially is what makes a man a man.
I almost sang there. Whoa. Wow. Okay, I'm taking it all in. So yeah, you are deep, man. You're just serving us.
And you know what? I intentionally made myself a pink drink today. It was intentional.
To
Because
match your pink top.
Yeah, it's pink and has, a couple of colors.
Yeah.
But because pink, society says that a man, you can't have a pink
drink.
You can't wear pink because you're a man. Who said that? According to who?
According to society. But who is society to tell you that?
Were they there? Were they there when you were created? Were they there?
About queen.
About a queen. About a queen. So why should you live according to the manual of somebody's instructions that you should be like this or that? No. Because essentially that is their perspective on how I should be, but that isn't the truth. The truth lives and lies within us. And in that note, I'm going to have myself a pink drink.
And I'm matching your pink drink. See?
Oh, yeah.
Matching there. So, wow. You spoke there to identity. You spoke to purpose. Because you're saying you need to know what you were brought here for and go after that. And just now you were talking about never betraying oneself. Do that which feels right and trust your gut.
And that brings you joy. Joy
and
is
do that which brings you joy. So if it doesn't bring you joy, let it go. If it doesn't bring you joy, it's not for you. Do not be afraid of letting it go. Okay. So, now I'm thinking, do I go there? I want to go somewhere. But I'm thinking, should I go there? I don't want to go there. Do I go there? Are you taking me there or do I go there myself?
Wherever the wind blows,
I
do my atamai.
Okay, so okay, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna change direction, right? So, how has life been different since the moment where you started embracing yourself? How has life been different since the moment you said, you know what, this is me, this is who I am, this is how I am, and this is what I want to do. I'm living my life according to my manual and not anybody else's manual. How has that journey been?
Freaking awesome. Freaking amazing. Freaking incredible.
Oh, yo.
Incredible. And you know why it's been incredible? Because it is so liberating.
Come on now.
It is so liberating. Knowing that I don't owe any. I am true to my being, and I'm also true to that which created me. So if we were to take things a little bit spiritual, so if I don't embrace myself and be who I am, was God or the higher consciousness, the higher energy, the all, was he or it or she making a mistake when he or she or it or him created me? So was the higher consciousness wasting its time when it created me the way that I am? Was the higher consciousness bored when it created me? Was he in a rush when he created me or it created me? Was he in a rush? So why couldn't he make me, be a little bit similar to my friends or my brother? Because that is what I want. Why couldn't he? Was he stupid to do that? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. And I say it because I don't want to put label to your higher consciousness. I don't know who's listening or watching.
You wanting to be politically correct.
To be politically correct.
I got you. I seize you.
But for me, it's a he, because for me, I'm Christian, so it's a he.
No, I was about to say, since you're speaking your truth, refer to the way you refer to him, because now you are speaking about Bukosi and what Bukosi believes in. You are speaking about Bukosi and who Bukosi is. So if you want to say him, say him. If you refer to as she, say she. If, it's yours. Own it. You are telling people to live their truth and be honest with themselves. So do the same, man.
Absolutely. So for me, it's a he. So Shikwembu, God, is a he for me because I'm Christian. And Bona, I am not down looking on you and whatever your religious belief is. So if it's a she or an it, Bona, take it, it's yours, own it, as Tshidi said. So in essence, then you're saying that, Bona, God made a mistake when he created me because he was supposed to create me to resemble man A, because man A is a perfect example of what a man is. So why are you alive? Why are you here on earth?
Why?
Why were you even born if that's the case? Because surely if God created all men to look like person A, then there was no need to create me. I mean, God did that already with person A. So why was I created? So the moment that you understand that there's a greater energy, there's a greater purpose, there's a greater force that has perfectly orchestrated who you are and where you are. The moment that you acknowledge that, and more than acknowledging, you accept that, believe you me, you'll begin to live your truth and you'll be liberated by that. So obviously, as a young boy child, as a young man, I could not articulate it the way that I'm able to right now. But I always felt like there was something more to my life. There's just something more to my life. I have all of these things that I have in terms of my attributes, physical attributes, psychological, emotional attributes. I always felt like there was more to who I am than what society expects me to be. So, I almost said Coach Tshidi. So, Tshidi.
I am, listen, at your service. However you want to address me, like, listen.
So, Tshidi, it is liberating. It is really, really liberating. And you begin to live a free life. And a free life is a just life. And a just life is a good life. And a good life is a content life.
I like how you keep going back to the source, You keep going back to remembering why. And now, as you're mentioning, Jorge, if you're not living your truth or if you're not living according to your purpose, not only are you denying yourself that opportunity, but also you are doubting your creator's purpose for creating you. Oguti, you are saying now, did my creator make a mistake? Was my creator in a rush when they made me? And yeah, so that just speaks to purpose. And you also said something about constantly seeking and constantly learning and constantly questioning, keeping bettering oneself and wanting more solutions and. So that will bring me to my next question that does it ever or do you ever get to a point where you say, I have arrived, I am that man that I've always wanted to be, or I am man Is there such a thing? What, did I need to deep there?
Woo, I love
Is
it.
there ever such a destination, or is it always a continuous journey?
Oh, I love that question. Because truth is, manhood is not a destination. It is a journey. It is a journey. And I say specifically that it is a journey because here's the thing. Who you were as a boy child is different to who you are right now as a man.
As
Who
a
you
youth,
were
you are a youth. As a youth.
as a youth man.
Listen, you are not vaccinated, so
Unfortunately.
as a young spawn.
So who I am as a boy child is completely different to who I was as a teenager. Who I was as a teenager, it is completely different to who I am now as a young man, okay? And who I am as a young man is going to be different to who I will be as now a man, according to society. That goes to show that you keep on evolving and you keep on growing, because if you're not growing, you are dying.
Yeah.
That is just
Yeah.
that is just the truth. So as a result, manhood is not a destination, it is a journey. It is a journey because along the way, your life teaches you something about who you are and who you can be to be the best and highest and truest expression or version of yourself. So as a result of those lessons, as a result of the experiences that you come across throughout the journey, you continue to evolve. So you never reach a point where you're like, yeah, now I am a man. Yeah, I am a man. I know everything about manhood. Yeah, can't tell me anything about manhood. No, I will come as Bugosi and ask you a few questions. And you'll be like, I don't know what you mean.
I gotcha. You're not a man that you thought you were.
Then, so if you tatazela, if you're taking, you know, if you're taking, does it mean that you have now, gotten to that destination where you are a man? So no, you never, it's not a destination, it's a journey, because you keep on growing and you keep on learning lessons that shapes you and molds you to be a better version of who you are as a person or who you are as a man.
So you take us back to metamorphosis, your favorite word.
Metamorphosis.
Your favorite word.
My favorite word. My favorite word.
Changes.
Yes, it changes. It changes. You know, so I was actually listening to a podcast by Deepak Chopra, one of my favorite spiritual teachers. And he was asking that, what happened to the body that you had when you were 15? Now that you're 40, you're 80, or you're 40. What happened to that body?
It evolved, changed. You outgrew it.
You outgrew it. And then now that you're 35, for example, what happened to the body that you had when you were 20? Or 30, or when you were 34, it changed. So doesn't that show you that everything is about growth and evolution?
So going back to the only constant thing is change.
And change is expensive. It is really, really expensive.
You're telling me?
It is very, very expensive, because when you change, you lose friends. Sometimes you even lose family. Either when you change from good to bad, you always lose something. And as you grow older and you change, and sometimes your body develops, not even sometimes, but most of the times, your body develops and you change sizes, waist size, t-shirt size, and stuff like that. That is also expensive. You gotta buy yourself a new wardrobe. And the person that you are right now doesn't necessarily identify with the people that you used to chill with, have a friendship or a companionship with at whatever age. Your values, your principles, your perspective of life, and what is important in life completely changes. So sometimes you might find that you have to find yourself new friends. And as a result of that, all of those things, change is very important. Yesterday, I was listening to another podcast. Yes, I am in every
Podcast edit.
And with that podcast, who was it by? I forgot who, but the person was saying that the biggest question that we all have to ask ourselves as human beings or as men is the world or the universe a kind and compassionate place, and does it rise to always support me and meet me at my point of need? Does it do that? Because the moment that you decide for yourself that the universe is a good place and it always rises to meet me at my point of need, then when everything else happens, when challenges come your way, when disappointments come your way, you know that there is something greater that is backing you up. But then now, if you decide the opposite, that the universe is a cruel place, it's a bad place, yada, yada, yada. So when those challenges come, then they go and weigh you down. Because that is what you've decided. You know, I was about to say, Ires does that. It really, really does that. So I know that.
As a man thinketh, so is he.
So is he. Thank you. And you said man. As a man thinketh, so is he. I know that I went off the road a bit there, but yeah. So I'm back. Sorry.
So you're back. Welcome back.
Yeah. So I'm really, really passionate about helping people or men understand who they are just beyond what meets the eye. And lest we not forget that there's something that we call ego. The ego that is always at play, like all the bloody damn time. And the ego is bigger than just being boastful or what you know. The ego is beyond that. It is beyond that. It is the identification with any label. And as a result of that identification of a specific label, that, for example, you are a macho man, and that identification limits you and limits what you can do and what you can achieve, then the ego is at play. And it is as a result of this ego that most of us are not living our truth, and most of us are not the men that we want to be. Because now the ego says that you're a man, you don't cry. Yeah, you're a man, you don't show emotions. You're a man, you should be violent and beat up your woman.
Against society. Yeah, ne? So, as a Kanorilo adult, your pink drink. As an adult, there are young boys out there that are embarking on this journey that you've been on, right? That may be in similar situation like you found yourself in, or they just, when you're at a crossroad with life throwing all sorts of things at you, you don't know whether you're coming or going. There's just too many things that are happening. What would your message be to that young boy, to say, that young boy that's saying, I'm here, what now? Or I'm here, what's next? Or I'm here, where do I go? I'm here, what do I choose? That young man that you once were and you needed. So right now, what is the message that you would give to that young young Bukosi that was seeking for answers. So in that you're also, to saying to the young boys out there, listen, kibophilo ntwe, and things will happen. But how do you then pick yourself up and continue? I hope I made sense.
You really did. Oh my goodness. And as you were asking me that question, I really could not help but reflect on my journey and look at the young person that I was at some point, and just look at the amount of confusion, amount of doubt, and amount of insecurities that really, really surrounded him and drove the trajectory of his life. And I really, really can't help but reflect on the person that I then became as a result of those insecurities, as a result of that doubt, and as a result of, I would dare even say, low self-esteem. And I guess, not even a guess, I know for sure that I robbed myself. I really, really robbed myself of so many things that were literally within my reach, just because as a man, you're not supposed to do that. With the school that I went to, we used to have talent shows. And every year I did it twice. I would dress up, wear like funny stuff, then go on stage, just act funny, just be funny and make the funny. So I would come out first place, obviously, because I really, really, really knew how to.
Obviously. Well, modest much are we?
So I would do that every year, and I would really come out first place. But my friends and my schoolmates would make fun of me for doing that. Little did they know, little did I know, that a few years down the line, I would be doing that, dressing up, making funny, and getting paid for it. Getting paid for it on television as an actor. Little did I know.
Like, well. What have we now? Well. Look at me now.
Look at me now on the queen, okay? Little did I know that. So I found myself at a crossroad a lot of times. And the biggest advice that I would give to a young man or a man who find themselves in that crossroad. So a crossroad in most cases, it has 4 directions. There is either the north, the south, the east, and the west, and you find yourself in the middle. So the biggest question that you need to ask yourself is, where do I want to go from here? Do I want to go up south, down south, up north, or to the east or the west? And as I take that direction, what lies ahead for me in that direction that I take? And then now, if I take that direction as a result of the voices, the negative chatter in my mind, in my head, as I take that direction, will I be able to stand and face the obstacles that I will come across in that direction that which I take? That is the biggest question that you need to ask yourself. Because now, if you're going to be who society says you should be, if you're going to be who your peers says you should be, then you best know that when you go through that direction that you take, when you walk through that direction that you take, you are the only person who is going to encounter all of those obstacles and all of those challenges. And those people, those friends, and the society that has been influencing you will not be there to save you. So can you save you from you? when those things happen in the direction that you take? Can you save you, save you from distracting when you come across those challenges? Because society, your friends will not be there to hold your hand. You will be by yourself. So you need to be sure, to be absolutely sure of where you're going and why you're going there. Because the only thing that will sustain you and keep you going when those obstacles come is your why. It was Viktor Franklin, the author of The Meaning of Life, who said that he who knows, he who knows his why can almost bear anyhow. So he who knows his why can almost bear anyhow. So with the direction that you choose to take, what is your why? What is your why? Because your why will help you bear almost anyhow. That is what you should ask yourself as you find yourself in that crossroad. I'm going up north. Why am I going up there? Is it what I want? Does it resonate with who I am? Does it resonate with my truth? And once you can answer that, and you have your answer to the why, go up north, go down south, go to the east, go to the west. Whatever you encounter along those journeys or that journey, you know that you can overcome no matter what, because you know why you're doing it. And you're doing it most importantly for yourself. In other words, I'm trying to say that if you identify yourself as a feminine man, because people say that there are feminine men out there, if you identify yourself as a feminine man, it's okay. Be a feminine man. Be a feminine man. If you identify yourself as a metrosexual man, which I do identify myself as, cool, I am a metrosexual man. If you identify yourself as a homosexual man, it is okay. Be a homosexual man. If you identify yourself as a trans man, it's fantastic. Be a trans man. Because that is your truth. And because of that truth, no matter what comes up in the voyage, in the journey of you living your truth, you'll be able to withstand it because you know your why. And your why is you are just being yourself. You're just being yourself. Okay.
And the church said amen. Yes, Minister Vukosi. Well. Guess what?
Yeah.
You know time flies when you're having fun, right?
It really does, eh? Really does. But before we go, right, I would really like for us to just expand a bit on the different roles that we as men play. As I mentioned earlier on, that there's different kinds of men, right? There is the homosexual, there is the metrosexual, there is the transsexual, there is the heterosexual as well. Men out there. There is the, bisexual falls under homosexual. So there's that. There's different roles, right, that we find ourselves playing as men in this journey of life. And there's no shame in whatever role you play. As you know, the sentence itself is really, really, really explicit, and it's really, really in your face. It's the roles that you play. It is not who you are. It is not who you are. So your sexuality doesn't essentially define who you are. It is just who you're fucking with. It's just
the role that you play. It's not who you are.
Who you are. No, it is just who you're fucking with. Okay, so if you're a homo, if you're metro, if you're a homo, you're fucking with men, or both. If you're bi, if you're a hetero, you're fucking with women. That is just who you fuck with. It is not essentially who you are. How does sexual intercourse define you? How does ikutansi define you?
Well. You just opened up another topic there. Meaning you must come back and finish that topic.
Absolutely.
Because that's gonna open up a lot more avenues that we're gonna drive into as we are journeying, right? Yeah. But on the journey, so tonight, this evening, we were just trying to define what is man, who is man, and what is man and who is man, and what defines a man. And the questions are going to be very interesting. The comments, I can't wait. And with that, like, my God, time flew, and there was so much that we still could talk about. But hey, what do you get when you got two people that talk a lot? You get this. So before you come back for the next hot chair and sit there and answer more questions, out of the past hour, the hour that we've been sitting here and chatting, what's the one thing that you want people to take home with? What's the one thing that you want people to take out of this 1 hour? In closing. Huh?
Ecology.
You play too much.
When we are gonna feature pace, ne?
No. Just checking, ecology checking. Future pace is us inviting you to come back.
So the one thing that I would like for you to take home with you, and more than taking home with you, I really hope that you take into your hearts and you allow that to become one with the essence of your being, is that just be yourself. That is the one thing that I want you to take home with you.
Just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
Alrighty. As I'm being myself. As I'm being myself. Those that want to continue this further, or those that want to connect, Bakhotola guy, who are you on the socials? Yes. Free advertising here. Who are you on the socials?
And my social media pages are really lit. So I am at Bukosi with 2 underscores. Underscores are those dashes. So what was that dash? Dash. Yeah. So I am Bukosi at Bukosi _ on both Instagram and Twitter. Not really active on Twitter. And then Facebook, I am Bukosi VJ Mashele. Bukosi VJ Mashele. And then I won't give you my numbers, but
You know you want to, right? You know you want to. And I'm not going to ask what VJ stands for, but
it is my initials, Bukosi Jubilee.
I know. I said I'm not going to ask. So, but why are you just spilling the tea now? What are we going to talk about the next time you come back, when you're giving us all the information now? So with that, Bukosi VJ Mashele, thank you for joining us for this hour and sacrificing your time and just joining us to just share yourself with us, yourself and your pink drink. Thank you for joining us. It was real.
Real men do have pink drinks.
Yeah, it's a heart. We hearts you. And you are now officially part of the Men Up community, Men Up family. And we can't wait to have you back again very soon. And talk about something else that's fun. But before we let you go, right? This girl from Bolobedu to the world that is signing out now, that was Men Up with Tshidi Lethwane. Do join us again. You are going to sing us out.
Oh.
Yes, putting you on the spot. You did say you were once a choir boy. So as I count you down, prepare your throats, prepare your chords, whatever you want. I'm going to count you down from 5. So
That genre, first and foremost. Gospel, house, R&B.
I said your choice, whatever, as the spirit leads. So I'm going to count you down from 5 and then you're going to sing us out. In 5, 4, 3. I'm not going to join you because I can't sing. 2, 1.
Be who you are, just be who you are. The biggest decision that you make is to live your truth. Yeah. Yo, so be who you are. Yada, 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 my nigga, my Hitler. Just be who you are. Love. Peace.
We love you. Thank you for tuning in. We shall see you again.